Let's do it.
Yes. Ready, man. I wonder who picked this music. Are we good? Are we locked in? It's all going for footage. Ladies and gents, back here, the Wavy world, Long Island, the city, and the world. We're locking. You see my brother here, Slim the announcer. I'm the first podcaster, but this is the face and the first faces of the announcing, even though we've had gentlemen in the past that was there before. NYC Prospects. A lot of people might not know the face behind that lovely Instagram build.
Finally get to the face behind the profile.
Tell us what you said. Milk and cookies for rookies, coffees and donuts for grown-ups. Randy in the building.
Behind the scenes.
That's like
I got him on camera today.
Rare.
Man.
This is rare.
We got you in.
What's up, fellas?
You're
What's going
fine.
on?
You look like Junior Gong Marley from Top Shotters, so
Yes,
don't worry
man.
about that. You good. Speak to the people. Let them know the page you do and everything you do. Trust me, Slim is going to have so much fun with this show. Right?
NYC Prospects is a basketball multimedia platform for New York City. Our focus and vision is uplifting our student athletes from the elementary school level to the collegiate level. Because when you look at ESPN and Overtime, you know, that's done nationally, right? But with NYC Prospects, we've actually started keeping our New York City talent always accessible to everyone. If it's not the college coaches, it's the guys like yourself doing events and showcases and stuff, and even to brands who want to use student athletes to be models and get them some type of money. You know, so that's just NYC Prospects in a nutshell.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think today's student athlete is chasing exposure more than development?
I would actually say both, because it depends on the student athlete. Because if you think about the way basketball is now, you can be exposed from a click and a retweet or a post, or you can be having a scholarship opportunity from a click and a repost or a share. So it just depends on who the student athlete is and what they're honestly looking for, in a sense.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Since you run a social media platform,
Right.
give me one pro and one con of social media and basketball.
I'm going to start with the con first, and I'm going to be real. I just want a lot of people to know this. I'm not going to be Randy from NYC Prospects 24/7, right? The one realization that I have is this, and I've said this aloud. There are some people who are personalities, then there's some people who are analysis, and that's me. With NYC Prospects, I know how to turn it off. I know how to be someone who can be regular, because people attach themselves to brands and platforms, and that's who they are. No, me, I'm Randy. I'm a father. I'm from Brownsville. I'm highly educated. I was even H2O's boss back in the day, but that's another conversation.
I'm putting in my 2 weeks.
But the pro is just being able to interact with different intellectual minds, right? And I'm not talking about the adults. I'm talking about the student athletes. Some of these student athletes are very articulate. You know, they are very tapped in what they want to do and what they're trying to do. And when it comes to NYC Prospects, I just love working with the youth, because they make us younger. When it comes to lingo, when it comes to style, even style of play. It just learning from them on a daily is just amazing, honestly.
That's true, Mud.
Yeah, Mud. You good, Mud?
My heart's in the MHs.
That is so weird.
Beloved.
It's crazy, but
My heart is kind of crazy.
I don't mean.
I don't want my heart.
I
to
don't
like,
listen, man.
Our friendship.
Ebonics is different. When I was going to college in Philly, they chastised us for calling somebody your son.
Facts.
I'm saying, like, the guys in Philly wasn't trying to hear you saying my son, even though they would say that's my young boy. I'm saying, but so it's just about vernacular and whatever is accepted 100%. Who's to say each his own? H4 used to work for you.
That's my guy,
man. Real difficult time.
That's
man.
my guy, man. Listen,
very
let
difficult
me tell you
time,
something real quick about H being an employee. Very good employee. And the one thing that I can say to this in front of you is, watching you work with those young men and women during that time, it was amazing, because I didn't have to overcompensate your skill set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to just watch you and let you be.
Yeah.
So that was a great thing about you being an employee.
That was a pretty good time during COVID. We had some good time. I was coming from Jersey to go to Brooklyn.
You was wilding, but it's okay.
Nah, it was. I wanted to do something. I couldn't sit during that time. I couldn't just sit. Like sit up in the crib, and it was an opportunity. And it was like we worked together at the LL Cool J camps and everything before
MBPA
and things of that nature. So it was like, you know, you were the director over there. I was like a basketball specialist, whatever it was. It was more of a brotherhood anyway.
Yeah, that's
you know
a
what
fact.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we started the X and O's program. You had that going on, and it was very highly successful. And that was something that we spoke about putting out national as well too. But you know, I don't know what happened with it.
Just real
LL
quick,
Cool J thing, OCV Park, Big Queens.
Yeah. Shout out to Milani Malik.
she got us every Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
That's for sure, man.
Had a nice killer training squad and everything
Queens.
like that.
Big
man.
Queens.
Big Queens for sure.
Royale even came out there and spoke. Nikki Avery. Yeah, we had a lot.
Yeah, Dion was there with us.
It's crazy. But I was gonna say, who has ruined more careers, parents or coaches?
I would say a mixture of both, but we have to include the people on the street, right? So, and the reason why I'm gonna say that because I'm tired of the dudes telling student athletes, "Oh, you can go play at a higher level," when 9 times out of 10 they never seen that level in person, but they only see them on TV, right? So all the influences that we see, which really enable our kids to not be held accountable, to not even show the respect for the game too. You know what I mean? So I remember the other day, big shout out to my man
Doyle. Bucket
Yes,
Fam
Bucket
Doyle. You
Fam.
know,
Brooklyn.
the only one. We gotta get Doyle up.
He said verbatim, we need more mentors and less big homies, right? And that stuck with me because when you look at some big homies, you staring the kid in the wrong direction.
Absolutely.
And even with some mentors, right? But that's another conversation for another day. But at the end of the day, we need to stop these outside influences trying to help these kids make these lifelong decisions. Because it's tough when you look at college basketball now. You might do 2 years of JUCO and then play 5 years at a
That's insane, bro.
But then it's not, because at the end of the day, what's happening now with the transfer portal, it was happening back when we was in high school. But guess what? There was no clicks, there was no uploads, and there was nobody really talking about it. Think about it, bro.
I think the way they do the transfer portal now is way different. Like the rules are way lax. Like even to go to different schools, before you used to have to sit out.
Yeah,
Like if I went to transfer from, I remember I was gonna transfer my senior year, and I wasn't feeling it. I was running up for newcomer of the year. My coach didn't start me my last 8 games of the season at Sacramento, and I wanted to transfer, but I would have had to go to D2 because I couldn't transfer from D1 to D1.
Right.
And still play that next year. I would have either had to sit out and I would have had no more years left, or I had to go to D2. And a lot, again, people don't know that about it. So I went back and I played and I was able to lead them scoring. But again, the rules were much different back then.
Everything is different though. And and let's be real, the NC2A has made more money than the past.
Right.
Right? You got to think about the whole NIL spill. There's a bunch of student athletes really thinking that they're going to make money off this game. You're not getting paid for 12 months. You're only getting paid throughout the season. And now you're seeing a bunch of NIL agents, a bunch of money marketing managers, right? You don't need those. I know a student athlete who doesn't have any representation. His parents are holding it down, because student athletes have to know you have to pay taxes on the dollar when it comes to this NIL money too. And that's what's not happening because they're not being educated on it. This kid is signing here, so he's going to get an NIL. But you want to tell that kid to save up for a rainy day?
Nah, of course.
You know, before you go in, I want you to listen to this as well. Listen, I wasn't as gifted as you guys, but I played basketball. I was around a lot of environments. I know you was.
Go ahead, continue.
Why are you looking in my eyes?
You could kill that dude right there.
Why you looking in my eyes?
You could kill that dude right there. I know you could kill that dude right there.
Never played basketball.
How can you put the camera on him? I know you could kill that dude right there.
You know, and this is why
We played Nike Jam one time. He refused to pass you the ball. Continue though. Continue the story.
H refuses to pass to a lot of people in the basketball.
we don't
so
mention
feel
those
bad.
people here.
Oh my
Slim, we don't mention those people here.
This is a serious rant, guys. Good. I played and I was around guys, so no, 100%.
Son, now you.
I don't think we can take it serious.
Now you playing, man, and the conversation is about to get
Like,
real.
I coached. I've been around many environments. Why? 'Cause I'm 3 for 2.
Okay.
3 for 2. That don't mean nothing. Remember where I was from. Yeah. With that being said,
Get up the court. Get to your points.
how do you know, they're looking at social media.
Right.
They're looking at the NIL thing. They're looking at all those stuff. How do you explain to these kids nowadays that there's many things you can do with the basketball? There's only 500 people in the lifetime that's ever been on an NBA court. Right. So with the
5,000.
statistics, 500, 5,000, the number is extremely small.
There's only about 5,000 people that
ever play in the NBA.
Yes. It's crazy.
There's 700 billion people in our neighborhood right now that their family and friends are telling them they're a
can go
pro.
to the league.
You're a pro. My little cousin, and I played basketball in high school. I wasn't the worst, the best, whatever, but I played. So he was trying to hoop now, and I used to show him some things, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to the league. I'm going to go to this Long Island Nets trial." I said, "Bro, you're not going to the league." And I'm not saying that to depreciate your confidence. I'm kids that are scoring 78 points a game in high school, and they're struggling to get a D1 or a D2 or a D3 offer. So you can't tell me. This is around the time when Jelly Fam, Isaiah Washington. I said, bro, you're not going. Be realistic. How about you go to college to get a degree? How do you explain that to these kids that there's many things they can do? Everybody's not going to Division One.
I have one of the best stories ever, right? I played at South Shore High School. We were super bad, super terrible.
Coach Sean?
I graduated in 2004. I get to Norfolk State University.
Shout out to Rob.
HBCU life.
Right? I get there, right? And I see the student athletes on the team. And I'm looking at them like, oh, this is a full-time job. But you know that you a hooper when they're calling you out your dome, yo, I want you to come to the oxygen hoop. And this is where they asked me to be the manager of the men's basketball team. And I tell kids all the time, you don't have to play the game to be around the game, because so many people throw out that pro word so effortlessly, right? Yo, Shorty's a pro. Shorty's a pro. And I go to games, listen, and I go to games and I'm going to give it up. Listen, I'm at games, I'm usually with the guys, we chilling. And the kids who y'all call pros, they're not pros.
No.
They're just good in that moment. So this is where we have to honestly start thinking long term and not short term, because we have a bunch of kids who have to go JUCO, which is okay. JUCO route is a great route.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Because you know why? It shows you that mentality of it's either him or me, or it's either she or me. But then what kills me about New York City is this whole thing of, oh, the kid didn't graduate from the city, so the kid's not from the city.
What he's saying is a lot of people take the New York talent, they'll go to Jersey, they'll go to Connecticut, and they played in, public school and things of that nature, and then they go somewhere else, and they don't get the credit for being from New York.
What's the kid on the Portland Trailblazers? Scoot Henderson, my guy from Hempstead.
One question I had to ask you about
Scoot Henderson is from Hempstead.
Yes, he is.
With PSAL being the largest league in the world, people don't even realize that the PSAL is the largest league in
It's called the Public School Athletic League,
Yes,
right? I was
right.
making sure to see if you know.
100%. So it being the largest league in the world,
Right.
do you think that they're just unorganized, or do you think that there's a decline in actual play?
So I don't think they're unorganized, but you have to understand, man, there are so many schools in the PSAL, especially playing basketball, which is what we're up here talking about. You have 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, right? Depending on each division, there's between 8 to 10 programs. So you need officials for every single game that's played. So now it's to the point where these officials have to double up. They have to do JV and varsity.
Yes.
With the PSAL, it's just so many schools, where opposed to Catholic is only between 31 or 32, right? But the one knock about the PSAL is, and I'm going to say this wholeheartedly, you have guidance counselors who main objective is just to get them to graduate, opposed to helping them secure that NCAA clearinghouse, right? So what people have to understand is, depending on what school you go to, you have to ensure that you're getting your courses done in 3 years, right? And this is where the better programs are having success with sending kids not only Division I, but D2, D3, high academic the D3s, NAIA, USCAA. Like there's so many college basketball conferences and leagues that you can play in that we need to highlight. You know what I mean? And with the PSAL, honestly, think about it. You have to upload your transcript into a computer. For the other league, the PSAL just gets a knock because there's so many schools, right? So everybody's quick to say, oh, they're unorganized and they don't know what's going on. No, the PSAL knows what's going on. They're super tapped in. It's not like back in the day where you had community coaches just coaching. You need that document. And the person who runs the PSAL told me there are ways that you can become a coach that people are just not taking and doing. It's not his fault by saying, no, you can't coach. I gave you a document saying what you can do to get it done. Some coaches are doing it, some are not.
Current state of high school sports, high school basketball, how are these kids going to get to that next level, especially now with NIL deals and guys starting college at 29 years old and guys getting dropped back from the D League playing 3 years in the D League and then able to go back into college. Like, so what did that do for the high school athlete?
You have to think about it. There's also a ton of alternative routes. You can go JUCO for 2 years and you might have the opportunity to play 4 to 5 years at that next institution. Another thing is prep school isn't a bad idea for some kids. Some people use prep school, oh, I get to clean up my transcript. No, whatever transcript you have, good brother, if you have an IEP, depending on the prep school you go to, they might could do the little magic markers situation. But there are just other ways, or just don't play a sport at all and be a matriculating student. Academically, you have to get it together. And what I want kids to understand is this: college basketball, you're playing with someone's mortgage, car note, if their wife likes Prada and Gucci, if their son is going to a school like Bates or a school like Brandeis, which is a high academic school, and they're paying over $60,000 a year, you're playing with that person's livelihood. So take shit serious.
You know, Coach Rand, and Slim here, H2O here, Thomas. I was watching something the other day with Nolan Smith, played at Duke University and now is the coach at Tennessee State. One of the things he says, like, we're recruiting, we do everything, and we're going in that portal, but he's like, yo, we recruiting guys to win. My job is on the line.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're not good after like 2-3 years, we see in all realms of coaching, they get rid of you. You get axed right away, especially in the college realms. So that's why a lot of these coaches are going to recruit a 29-year-old, a 24-year-old, a 25-year-old. They might get one kid that's 18 years old, and you better be that boy. You better be that kid. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
I know we're almost 40 and stuff. What we have to understand is this: when Florida State had Chris Winkie as a starting quarterback,
29.
There was no uproar about it. You feel me? Everybody was just with it. And when you think about BYU, that's when the Mormons have to go on the mission. They're coming back how old?
Yeah.
23.
24,
25 years old, right? But we're not saying anything. Now everybody want to play this age is a number game. Listen, shorties, if you 13 going into high school, you're going to play against an 18-year-old. You just got to figure it out.
Right.
So opposed of us not teaching kids how to be resilient and teaching them how to jump from spaces, running from work, that happens in their professional life as well.
Yeah.
Jumping from job to job, and then as you get older, you don't have a pension for what?
Crazy.
100%. Trust me.
I'm this around a little bit. We've been shouting out crossover culture as well. I want to know your top 5 crossovers of all time. It could be just the player. It could be the actual move.
I'm
top 5.
I got crossed before, so I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I think we all have.
Big shout out to Eugene Lawrence. We was playing in BRC.
St. John's.
Let me tell my story first. No, you wasn't. I was 16 years old. Slim, no, listen. Slim is around, but this time we 16 years old, right? I'm playing against his team from the neighborhood, and we're pressing, and I step over. And he's in front of me, but I'm like, where's the ball at? Somebody said he threw the ball between my legs. So I'm like, it's okay, though, because on the next play down, I hit a 3, you know what I mean? But every time I see him, I speak about that. I used to see Bashy. I played against him as a kid. He had a right to left at times. NBA guys like Tim Hardaway. Right.
Texas two-step.
I used to try to mimic his stuff. On the street ball level, I had a family member who played in all that stuff. Like Mookie Thomas. Wow. He's from my neighborhood. Fly Williams, he taught us his crossover as a kid. I played for Fly back in the day. So it's like with crossovers and stuff, it's just how you just start the move.
Right.
You know, it's just how you try to like make your defender do some craziness. Then the second time I got crossed, big shout out to my man M. That crossed me into a pick when I played at South Shore. I was sick. But then I thought about it. I played defense, so you're gonna get crossed if you play defense.
I think about playing defense.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna get caught if you play defense.
Yeah,
shot block, you're gonna get dunked
You're gonna get dunked on, or you're gonna get crossed on, especially if you was decent.
Nobody cares about that though. The highlight's still the highlight.
Yeah, and that's and it's crazy because as a high school shorty getting crossed and you watching these kids getting crossed, you like, shorty, he didn't hit you with nothing. You just scared to slide your puppies, my guy.
But I think the difference now is like when you got crossed at 16, it was just like, oh, Randy got crossed and that was it. Now you get crossed, it's online 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
And it's viral. So it's weird.
Yeah. So we got a question. What does peace mean to you, brother?
Peace means, honestly, waking up in the morning and seeing that we impact a life. Because when it comes to NYC Prospects, we could speak about basketball all the time, but it's bigger than basketball for us. So we've actually helped kids get into college.
Yeah.
We've actually had programs benefit on becoming a better program because of us. So it's just about the give back. That's what brings me peace every day when it comes to New York City basketball. Watching these smaller known programs become bigger programs because of a tweet, because of a kid, or because of an adult who actually gives a fuck.
What would you tell a kid who wants to play at that next level right now?
For all the kids who want to play at the next level, treat it like Cold Stone. It's either you like it or you love it, right? Because for some it's a hobby, but for some it's a dream.
Right.
You feel me? So I know a bunch of kids that, that's all they say is NBA, NBA, NBA. I'm with that. But I also know pros. I've been around pros. And the stuff that's done in the dark for them comes out in the light. When these kids want to emulate a Steph Curry, a LeBron James, or a Kyrie, what they're doing under the whistle is what they're doing in the gym when nobody's looking, right? Another thing that I would say is find the circle that you will not allow any squares. The reason why I say that because we have grown men, and I'm fighting tears because we got grown men putting projections and fears on kids of something that they couldn't do. So you gonna tell a kid to do this knowing damn well you wouldn't do that, right? Then we have people, right, who are coaches who don't take care of their own kids, but you telling a kid, you feel me? So when it comes to basketball, for me, like I'm really for the New York City basketball culture, right? I'm the guy who's on Twitter fighting with these guys who do the rankings. Don't be talking about a kid in this bullshit excerpt. That kid is not a 3-level scorer. You just putting that just to use terminology. And my other gripe with this is we have so many kids from the city who can avoid a distraction if we just help them. Right, so every kid ain't going to the league. So you know what y'all can do? It's sort of like a media training platform. You could teach them how to be announcers, how to do in-game stuff, officiating, because officiating is also a big problem in New York City. Matter of fact, you officiate games, and I've spoken to you after games. You be like, "Yo, this such and such on the sideline." And the one thing that we're going to collab on, I'm going to say this: we're going to do an officiating class for parents. So parents can see, it's just to lessen all of the violence against referees.
It's getting ridiculous.
And it's becoming dumb. I'm doing this.
We have no horse in the race. Like,
that's a fact.
Literally, as officials, I don't care. It's going to be a winner and it's going to be a loser.
Facts.
And only the bias come from whoever you're cheering from. We don't have a biased thought about. I don't care about your kid. I don't care if he's 5 stars, 0 stars.
You don't care.
I don't care. I'm calling the game.
You're cheating. How am I cheating?
I don't.
Your kid traveled.
He walked
twice.
Yeah, and then I actually didn't call it that 3rd time he traveled. Like,
It's it's way like we be at games all the time. It's way too many parents in the stands or on the sideline screaming, "You're missing a good game. You're making this bad call."
Correct.
Like you're about to get fired at your job.
Tomorrow.
We're gonna need you to relax. Like, you're like, stop telling this
Your
man
life's about to get shut off.
You're like, stop. Like, you're one right up away. He's crazy. Like, you're one right up away from being fired. And you're here trying to tell this man how to do his job. And only because, like you said, you're biased because your son is on that team. First of all, your son is doing non-legal moves and he's getting caught. How about you, after the game, take your son in the backyard, teach him how to move the right way.
Refs are looked at like police.
Yeah,
we look like the police. So when you see a cop,
You Jay Reed, bro.
yeah,
You're Jay Reed.
Reed is
that's wild.
Think about it.
You know, Cop Jay Reed.
Yeah.
Come on, he ain't no cop.
Jay Reed is wild.
And the one thing I will love New York City basketball, and that's just all levels, even unlimited. We need to focus on development. It's not just basketball-wise, it's just as a people. Because we have high school student athletes playing unlimited. So why are y'all letting these high school student athletes mimic the bad habits that you have as an adult?
Yeah.
And you thinking it's cool.
But there's no gatekeepers even in adult basketball. I remember when I first started playing street ball, I was with TNP. Playing street ball with TNP.
Yes.
We were winning everything.
Yeah,
And
it's a 6 man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you come off the bench and shoot,
and I did
and not guard nobody because you had people who guarded.
whatever. But
I love Age, son. That's my boy.
You had to earn your stripes in street ball. Right? You had to earn your stripes. Now somebody buy a team, get a team, they put the team in there, and any Joe Schmo can play. There were coaches who brought teams there. Nike won. It was bingos. It was even Sean Bell's and everything that was going on. But now anybody can play and really like checking nobody no more. So like when Strick was playing, you know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. It was a lot of pillars in street ball. Speedy, Junie Sanders, a lot of people who really held it down. Now even the older guys looked at as like shit, like yo, get out of here. Like now, like it's no veterans on teams anymore either. So it's
Funny, I thought about you H pause because Ancox actually could pause.
He dunked the ball. He dunked the ball. He dunked the ball.
42, 40, 49, whatever years
he
old
still wants to play ball. So like let him
He's
play.
competing.
He still love playing.
Yeah, so let him play.
Yeah, and
compete.
Yeah, and
That's it.
it's needed for sure. And another thing that I will love to just quickly interject is about is this, right? We just need to focus on restoring community through hoops. That's the whole basis with NYC Prospects right now. We started a pilot program called the Association. It's our middle school circuit. So oppose the middle school programs who don't have the means to play in the made hoops, to play in the zero gravity, to play in a junior EYBL or 3 SSB. Why not compete in your city? Why not have these coaches become a unit? Boom. If I'm at this program and I know I don't have the fiends and I don't have the funds and the money to travel, why not this bigger program take this kid, but still have the common courtesy to say, you know what, shorty, we just came from Dallas. You can go back and, because that was done back in the day. And lastly, it's just about having that positive dialogue at all times. Like you and I always have positive dialogue, and that's what's needed. And the egos and the pride just has to cease.
NYC Prospects. Randy, it was great to have you here in the building,
you so much.
man. Ballin' for Peace, NYC Lead 32. You got Slim T5 in the building. I'm Wavy Walker, the voice of Long Island. The big message is don't lie to the kids. Be realistic with the kids. Be realistic with their vision, their dreams, and actually care. And if you don't care about the kids, stay away from them. We don't need no culture vultures in this game. I'm Wavy Walker, the voice of Long Island. Victory has 100 fathers and defeat is an orphan. Let's wrap them up from there, man. This is very influential.
Vic is on his way. Don't be late.
Copy.